Good morning, dear children. This is what a chemical world. Everyone feels that in science, chemistry is very difficult. No doubt, subject no chemistry also difficult. But it's not like that any subject that one cannot able to grasp the knowledge in that. So here I am giving my effort to make you understand what chemistry is. If you keep watching all my videos one after another, you can easily understand and you will feel chemistry is easy. But however, there is no entry way to chemistry from one particular direction. And many multi-direction is there to reach what chemistry exactly is. So if you keep watching all my videos, then in due course of time, in 1 or 2, 3 videos, you will be understanding what the concept of chemistry is. So before starting from fundamentals, what prerequisite exactly one should know to know regarding the chemistry. First of all, let's feel about a chemical world. So I have chosen the topic like chemistry and chemical world. Chemistry and chemical world. Here I have given this reaction may be completely new to you, but let's see. It is a beaker. It is another beaker. One beaker. You are feeling like water like some content is there. Another beaker also water like content is there. In one beaker like water like content, glass beaker. Another also glass beaker, water like content. And once you will be adding the content of beaker 1 to beaker 2, you find out some sort of vapor or something is forming. And finally, in the resultant beaker, you will find like this, some white color powdery substance is settled at the bottom. So this is what we might be seeing somewhere in films or in some chemical labs, that people when doing some sort of experiments, you will be finding some sort of reaction is going on, some vapors are coming. It's called really in chemistry terminology called effervescence. Something is happening that is called effervescence. So what I took one beaker, in one beaker you could see like clear like water is there, another also like it looks like water, but really we don't know whether there is water or some other chemical. Really in fact it is one chemical there, and the chemical name is sulfuric acid. It just looks like water in a glass. And the other one, calcium hydroxide. In second beaker we took calcium hydroxide. That even looks like how it is visualized when you take water in a glass. But when this sulfuric acid is poured into this calcium hydroxide, automatically some sort of fumes will be coming, and finally in this second beaker you will find clear liquid like water on the top and some white color substance at the bottom. So let's see what is happening. Here the first one is really I took sulfuric acid, second one I took calcium hydroxide, and I poured the content of beaker 1 into beaker 2 this way. It's a reaction this way. And ultimately in this the second beaker what I found, some white color powdery substance is there and some crystal is there and some clear liquid is there. So this is sulfuric acid when reacts with the calcium hydroxide, that gives this white content is calcium sulfate and the clear one is water. Sulfuric acid when reacts with the calcium hydroxide, that gives calcium sulfate and water. That one I have written simply in word equations. This way I have written the names completely, and symbolically I have written the total formula of sulfuric acid is H2SO4. Calcium hydroxide, the formula is CaOH twice, and this is the reaction, and you got the white powdery substance calcium sulfate. This is calcium sulfate. This is the formula of calcium sulfate, and this is water formula. What is this formula you mean? Formula mean to say that this sulfuric acid is a combination of many chemicals. That is again a combination of many chemicals. What chemicals are present? That chemicals are H2SO4. There H2SO4. H2, H1, H2. Two H's are there. S is 1 and O's are 4. That means total 3 different types of chemicals. But the first one is 2 in number, second is first 1 in number, and the third one is 4 in number. That is combined to form sulfuric acid. I have written total altogether. This is H, you mean hydrogen. Hydrogen's short name is H. The short name is called your symbol. H for hydrogen, S for sulfur, O for oxygen. So 2 contents of hydrogen, 1 content of sulfur and 4 content of oxygen, when combined chemically you got the sulfuric acid. So that is its short name, that is called a formula, is the short name of the chemical, that is a formula. Similarly calcium hydroxide, here Ca means calcium, O means oxygen, H means hydrogen. So 1 content of calcium, 2 content of oxygen and 2 content of hydrogen. Because oxygen is 2, hydrogen is 2, it has got different rules of writing the formulas. You will be learning in the subsequent classes how to write the formulas. So that's why we kept a bracket and given 2. It indicates O are 2 in number, H also 2 in number, Ca is 1. And the product has come CaSO4. Ca is calcium is 1, sulfur is 1, oxygens are 4. Okay. Next water, hydrogens are 2, oxygen is 1. I took for example, so this is what sulfuric acid is there here present, calcium hydroxide is present here, and calcium sulfate you got this white powdery crystal, and H2O is this water. Now let's take this is sulfuric acid. This is looks like water, this one also looks like water, but in fact really the two are not same. One is sulfuric acid, the other one is calcium hydroxide, but they looks like water in a glass beaker. It looks like the same. It has a different kind of property and it has a different kind of property. Property means not money, property means behavior. It has got a different kind of behavior. It has got a different kind of behavior. Although they look same, like water they look same, but the behavior is the same. Now what I took here sulfuric acid, what I took here calcium hydroxide. The behavior of sulfuric acid is different, the behavior of calcium hydroxide also different. So let us take a small amount of a drop of this liquid, you take, that is sulfuric acid, and check whether that drop is behaving exactly how the total liquid is behaving. Yes, definitely a single drop also behave like that. Still from that drop again you take a small content and test whether it is behaving like the total liquid or not. Yes, it is also behaving the similar way. In that way you go on reducing the quantity, slowly you go on reducing the quantity, and minute to minute particle of this particular liquid you take, that will be behaving like H2SO4. Then finally you will be attaining only a single small minute particle, and that small minute particle is called your molecule. That one molecule. And whenever you get that molecule you mean a smallest minute particle of this particular liquid that is behaving like the total acid. So there, further if you want to break, you cannot able to break. Further you cannot able to divide that one into subsequent smaller units. That is the smallest unit, and that is called a single molecule of sulfuric acid, and single molecule of sulfur which you cannot able to divide further. There you will find 2 parts of hydrogen, 1 part of sulfur and 4 parts of oxygen. I told that is what which you cannot further divide, that is your molecule. So in the molecule of sulfuric acid you got 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur and 4 oxygen. I represented in a small diagram like some 1, 2, 3, 1 is septagon shape, but really the shape of the molecule is not like that. They are simply you take a round in shape and attach it to one another, and to make you understand I have given like this a figure. There are 2H, 1S and O. Like this, total with the 7 units you have got this is sulfuric acid. And coming to similarly, the smallest particle of calcium hydroxide, you will find 1 calcium, you will find 2 oxygens, you will find 2 hydrogens. And coming to calcium sulfate, 1 calcium, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen. 1 calcium, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen. Here 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. So these are what? Single molecule of sulfuric acid, single molecule of calcium hydroxide, single molecule of calcium sulfate and single molecule of water. Don't please consider the shape of the molecule is like this. Don't please consider. I mean to say that with these units only the particular total thing is made of? Embedded. One Ca, one S, one O. These are all embedded together, attached to one another chemically to form this particular compound. So these are called what? Molecules. And if these are molecules, this is a molecule. This is a molecule of H2O, that is water. This is a molecule of calcium sulfate, and this is a molecule of calcium hydroxide. This is a molecule of sulfuric acid. And in this molecule, you got H and O. This single H is called atom. So, two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of oxygen. Atom. The single unit inside the molecule is called atom. Two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen, we got water molecule. Similarly, calcium sulfate molecule is made of one calcium atom and one sulfur atom and four oxygen atoms. Coming to sulfuric acid, two hydrogen atoms, one sulfur atom and four oxygen atoms. And coming to calcium hydroxide, one calcium atom and two oxygen atoms and two hydrogen atoms. So I hope you understood what the atom is and what the molecule. So atoms combine together to form the molecule. For example, here two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of sulfur, four atoms of oxygen combined together to form a single molecule of H2SO4. Clear? And similarly, here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 atoms are combined together to form this calcium hydroxide molecule. So this total unit is called your molecule and individual units are called atoms. So here totally how many atoms are given? Hydrogen is one kind of atom, sulfur is another kind of atom, and oxygen is another kind of atom. And here calcium, hydrogen, oxygen, calcium, hydrogen, oxygen, three kinds of atom. Okay, three kinds of altogether calcium, sulfur, oxygen. This is so in this entire reaction, the different kinds of atoms you got: hydrogen 1, sulfur is 2, oxygen is 3, and calcium is 4. Four different atoms are there. Four different atoms there. That means you need not to feel that in the total universe, like hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, calcium, four atoms also there. No, there are altogether 180 different types of atoms are present. 180 different types of atoms are present so far, and here 109 exactly discovered. 109 are discovered, and the remaining 9, these are just pre-assumed that this kind of atoms are present, but it is still under research. We don't know where they are present. Definitely somewhere it is present in traces it may be there, and in due course of time the remaining elements, the remaining atoms also we can able to find out. So there are altogether 118 this kind of like H, S, O, Ca, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this total 118. Of that 109 are already discovered, 118 are like this elements are there. So you need to understand that in this chemical world, we have so far like this 109 elements are discovered, and yet more 9 elements are yet to be discovered, and some say that it is discovered or not. But altogether we know that 118 elements are present. With this 118 elements only, the total earth is built up. In the total earth, whatever we are finding, you say air, water, whatever it may be, plants and any articles, anything that we get, everything is made up of only this is 180 and 109 elements. 109 are discovered so far, 9 is yet to be discovered.